No. That's all me. It's all me. I'm sitting here talking. I didn't turn the sound on. I apologize. I apologize. Uh, Now I gotta say all that stuff I said again. Oh my goodness. I said I just finished talking with Wyatt. Just finished talking. I'm not talking, listening to Wyatt. I did talk to him a little earlier. As he wrapping it up, he was starting his music playing. I can't necessarily get with some of that music he be playing. It was driving me crazy. But he went on what 1 to 3, and I'm doing 3 to 5. Then I think he doing 5 to like 8 or 9. He's a hardworking man. And I was saying, yeah, that's why he almost a billionaire. That's why he almost a billionaire. Hopefully he'll get a kick out of that one. But thank you, everybody. Come on in, say hello to me. Say hello to me. I do have one question that I gotta ask, uh, but I'll do that in a few minutes. I like the hellos. Y'all don't understand. This is my favorite part of the show. This is my favorite part of the show. Saying hello to the people, finding out where the people calling from. My favorite part of the show. So let's get to it. Anthony, good afternoon. Where you checking me out from, if you don't mind? Mary, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Where you checking me out from, if you don't mind? Anthony says, good afternoon. No sound on YouTube. That was my fault. I didn't turn the fader up. And then Jerica also said, does anyone else have sound? Nobody did. And she said, okay, thanks. Sean, good afternoon. Maria, good afternoon to you as well. Got Erica checking in from Reading. All right. I was riding through Reading the other day, and the police was out. And people were speeding. And speeding in Reading is 26. It do feel a little wild when you driving the speed limit, which is 25, because you know that like they do speed traps and you don't want to get caught up in a speed trap. So you driving 25 and people just blowing by you. Whoom, whoom, whoom. And you like, if that was me, I would be getting a ticket right now. But it don't matter. Everybody else can do wrong. I'm going to still do my best to do right. I'm going to do my best to do right. Got Denise Divine. Good afternoon, Denise. Sierra in the house. She say, what's up from Cincy? Oh, you here now. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoying it. Or maybe you just saying, what's up? I'm not sure. Good afternoon. How about we just go with the simple good afternoon? Jerica in the house. Thank you for the alert on the sound. Hola to you as well. Good afternoon. Sean says he's checking in from the ATL. All right. Crystal, good afternoon to you as well. Hamilton in the house. Used to live up in Hamilton. Couldn't beat it. Seven says good afternoon. Where y'all checking me out from? Where y'all checking me out from? I like to shout out the neighborhoods and the cities and the states. Jerica says I'm in Charlotte. All right. Charlotte. When you come to town, you don't never hit me up no more. Like you used to hit me up like I'm in town. Not that we haven't met up or anything, but at least I knew, hey, she home. And I could feel, what I'm saying, the good vibes. You don't hit me up no more. Denise says, hello, everyone from College Hill. All right. We got Pat in the house. Pat says, good afternoon from Westwood. Scott Bain in the house. And I used to work with Scott. When I talk about the meat packing plant, Scott worked at the meat packing plant with me. I think we are both glad we no longer work at the meat packing plant. It wasn't like horrible, but at least for me, it was cold. I don't like cold. Ugh, it's cold. Ooh. You got to bundle up to go to work. In the summer, you cold. In the winter, you cold. In the fall, you cold. What's the other month? You cold. I mean, the other season, I forgot. I don't even remember which ones I said, but y'all know what I'm saying. Just year round, just being cold. Ugh. Not good. What's up, Scott? Good afternoon from Johns Creek, Georgia. All right. He got houses all over the country. Mary says White Oak. Mary chilling in White Oak. Darren Edwards, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Darren. Brenda checking us out from Fairfield. Brenda from Fairfield. All right, Fairfield in the house. And good afternoon, Brenda. Got Nick Brown. Good afternoon from Coleraine. Coleraine checking in. Hold on, I got Nick up there because Nick is one of the YouTube watchers. I'm in YouTube jail. I am in YouTube jail. Hold on, let me see if I can show y'all this. No, not here, not here. No, not here. Not that one. Here. All right. No, it's not that one either. Here it is. See if I can put this. Let's go here and put you over here. I want to show y'all how YouTube be doing me. How YouTube be doing me. All right. Hold on now. I need to go here to make sure y'all can see what I'm showing y'all. YouTube says your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. So they saying they already gave me a warning and I'm on strike one. Your channel now has one strike. This means you won't be able to do things like upload posts or live stream for 1 week. A second strike will prevent you from publishing content for 2 weeks. 3 strikes in any 90-day period result in the permanent removal of your channel. But they don't tell me what I did. And the reason that it is so interesting is because y'all know I simulcast on all of these channels. They all get the exact same content. I'm still on the afternoon experiment page. I haven't done anything on this YouTube page, my personal YouTube page, that I haven't done on the afternoon experiment YouTube page. So are the guidelines stricter for me as a person, but less strict for, an entity? Because whatever I said on my personal page, I said it on the afternoon experiment page. What in the hell? What the hell? But I got my one strike. I don't know why I got a strike. They don't tell you why. They just put up that little icon telling me that I'm on strike one. So I'm off the personal YouTube page for a week. It makes no sense. Man, people always trying to control me. They don't necessarily want to control the afternoon experiment, but they want to control Emanuel Livingston. What in the world? All right, back to it. LaDonna says, hey, LaDonna, hey. Got Lonzo in the house. Lonzo, good afternoon. As always, checking in from work, milking the clock. Can't beat that. Because we all know how I feel about employers. Says Terry, hey, from E-Town. All right. Tracy, good afternoon, Tracy. Good afternoon, Tracy. Darren says he's checking in from Madisonville. All right, you can't beat that. Jeannie, good afternoon, Emmanuel, and everyone. Happy Thursday and happy 52nd birthday eve to me. All right. She says she won't be on here tomorrow. What? You can't just because it's your birthday don't mean you get the day off. Just because it's your birthday don't mean you get the day off. Oh, I got it's not a funny story. It is a story. I was married previously. And I'm going to just leave that part at that. My ex-wife, she had gone to school. I made her, but that's not important. She had gone to school. She had gotten one of her little nursing things. I don't remember which one she was. Something where she had to go to school to get it. I don't know. She went to school for a nice little piece. She got her little degree, or her big degree. I don't want to diminish it. She got a job working at Hamilton County. She was making pretty good money. She worked at the juvenile facility. And I'm telling you, I don't know about now, but they used to beat them kids up. Some of them guards would go in there high, like they smoked weed, like you wouldn't believe it. But that was then. I don't know what they do now. And she decided It's my birthday. I'm not going to work. I'm like, what? You go to work and then we can celebrate your birthday after work. Oh, she decided she wasn't going to go to work. So she called him and told him, it's my birthday. I'm not coming to work. I'm like, but you're scared. Why wouldn't you tell them in advance? If anything, they told her, like, look, we need you here. We need you here. You know what I'm saying? Little kids, little badass kids. We need you here. You the nurse on duty or whatever. I'm not coming in. It's my birthday. I don't work on my birthday. They fired her ass. I was mad as hell. That's good money. You giving up good money for nonsense. Jeannie, I expect you to have your ass here on your birthday, or you fired. Can you fire somebody who voluntarily supports your show? Can you fire somebody who voluntarily supports your show? Little baby. Little baby. Little baby. Don't be trying to ignore me. Little baby. Little baby. Little baby. Little baby. Little baby. That's the worst ignoring ever. No, enjoy your birthday. Enjoy your birthday. Jerica says she'll do better. Thank you. Thank you. Seven says he's checking us out from Bond Hill. We got Veronica in the house from College Hill. Brini in the house. She says, hello, King, and Afternoon Experiment Facebook family from North College Hill. I used to live in North College Hill, too. Regina, checking in from Madisonville. Can't beat that. Got Janice in the house. What's up, Janice? You gonna hate on me today, too, Janice? Are we ever gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in a loving mood and you hating me. You in a loving mood and I'm not necessarily reciprocating because I don't hate. I don't hate. Are we ever gonna get on the same? I think we've been on the same page where you was hating and I was not reciprocating love. Or are we ever gonna get on the same page where you loving me and I'm loving you? Janice. Y'all know I like Janice. I like Janice. Love Janice, actually. Ben said the girls told me I packed some meat in my day. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure what that means. Let's see. We got Anthony says, is Marcus following you and Ross around the podcast circuit? Don't get me started on Marcus. Marcus lied on me. See, you got me started on Marcus. Marcus lied on me. Marcus say he used to call in and, I used to hang up on it. That's not necessarily true. That's a lie. Look, if I'm known for anything, I'm known for letting people talk. People come up, you let people talk too long. I'm not known for just hanging up on people, even people who annoy me, because I like the back and forth. Because even with people who I might perceive as an idiot, sometimes you can even get something from them. So I like to help me understand how your brain works. So for him to go on acting like, oh, he just hang up on me all the time, he can't take the truth. Like, come on. Anybody who know me know that's not true. Anybody who know me know that's not true. And just come on out the closet. You heading out? Here, I'll hold that. Where you going? You're going the wrong way. Get on over here. That's right. Get up here. Give it to me. That one was kind of weak. Next time, it need to be stronger. Have a great rest of your day. I love you too. See you later. But yeah, no, that Marcus. Robert Willis in the house. You was late, Robert Willis. I'm docking your pay. Is the Twitch person in the house? Let's see. Yes, Twitch person. Say hello. I don't know who you are, but just say hello. Just type in the comments, hello. because the Twitch person is here. Let's see. People saying happy birthday. People saying happy birthday. Tracy. Tracy says, I love you, Emanuel. I love you too, Tracy. Tashia. If I mispronounced it, let me know. But she says hello to everyone. All right. And hello to you as well. We got Terry. Good afternoon from downtown. Downtown in the house. Scott says we are moving from here to Cumming, Georgia. All right. Let's see. We got Brent in the house. Good afternoon, Brent. Good afternoon, Brent. Oh, let me see. I think I'm almost to the end of the comments. Tracy Ellis was reported. How did you get in YouTube jail? Be careful. One strikeout, I had to create a new account years ago. I don't know. They don't even tell me what I did. But again, it doesn't make sense. This show would be, if they didn't have me in YouTube jail, on both YouTube channels. Again, y'all know I'm on Facebook. You got my personal page, the show broadcast there, and you got the Afternoon Experiment page. It's the same setup with YouTube. So if Facebook was like, Emanuel Livingston, you did something that violated our community policies, but didn't strike the Afternoon Experiment page like you did something too, it's like you got twin boys. You got twin boys, and they both outside playing in the yard. You dressed them the same. They got the same haircut. They're identical twins. They both go outside and play. They both do the exact same thing, but one of them come in and you give him a whooping, like you didn't do what I said do. The other one come in and you like, oh, you good. But you told them both the exact same thing. They did the exact same thing. Why is one twin getting a whooping? And why am I yelling? I'm frustrated. That's why. Ask ridiculous questions. I'm the twin that's getting the whooping, even though I'm also the twin that's not getting in any trouble. Let's see. Tria in the house. Tria says, good afternoon, King. Checking in from Columbia Township. You can't beat that. Are you able to dispute the decision or seek more explanation? Strike basics. Hold on, let me see. Do they tell me what I did? Review the content. Here's how it impacts your content. Begin review. I'm gonna do this right now. Let me see. What did I do? And they say this is for the June. What? This is, hold on. I'm trying to review my content, but look at the date. Look at the date. I got a strike this week for something that happened June 30th, 2021. What? What? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm pretty mad now. Now I am pretty mad. This is an issue from the Afternoon Experience, June 30th, 2021. And I'm struck today, more than 2 years later. Oh, I'm fired up. Oh, I'm fired up now. More than 2 years later, they like, oh, 2 years ago. Look, and I hate to bring this up as an example, but if I cheated on Mrs. Livingston 2 years ago today, she knew about it for 2 years. And then just today, she like, I want a divorce. I'm like, you want a divorce? Why? Because you cheated on me in 2021. You should have divorced me in 2021. You don't get to come back 2 years later for something that's been there for 2 years that you knew about and just be like, You in trouble. Or no, better yet, she don't want a divorce. You sleeping on the couch. What I'm sleeping on the couch for? 2 years ago. You what? I'm sleeping on the couch for something that happened 2 years ago? We don't do the whole sleeping on the couch thing, so that's just an example. But I wouldn't sleep on the couch. I wouldn't sleep on the couch for something I did 2 years ago that you knew about for 2 years. As a matter of fact, if you come talking about sleep on the couch, you in trouble for something you did 2 years ago that I knew about 2 years ago, I'm stroking you real good tonight. Sleep on the couch. Something that happened 2 years ago. I'm in YouTube jail for something that happened over 2 years ago. Y'all think I be making this stuff up. I didn't even know. I didn't know that they told me, that they showed me any of that kind of stuff. I clicked it. Y'all watched it come up with me. I think y'all did. June 30th, 2021. Oh, I'm heated now. I don't even know if I can continue with the show. But I can. But I am heated about it. LaDonna says, I didn't know YouTube did that. Apparently, YouTube didn't know that YouTube did that until earlier this week. They didn't know 2 years ago that they did it. What in the world? Did someone report you? I didn't think YouTube flagged you. I thought other people who watch your videos try to get them taken down. It was 2 years ago. Now I got to watch a whole 3 hours and 19 minutes to see what policy I violated? Oh, okay. Hold on. I scroll down a little bit. Oh, they making me mad now. This makes me even more angry. All right, I scroll down just a little bit. That policy, medical misinformation. YouTube doesn't allow claims about COVID-19 vaccinations that contradict expert consensus from local health authorities or the World Health Organization. I'm heated now. I'm heated. Oh my goodness. I'm in Facebook jail. YouTube jail. Because over 2 years ago, apparently I said something about the vaccine that they did not agree with. They did me just like Radio 1. Radio 1 knew I wasn't taking that shot a long time before they decided, well, okay, even if you don't take the shot, then you have to get tested every week. All right, that ain't nothing. I get tested every week. Then some months later, well, okay, now you got to get tested twice a week. Okay, that ain't no biggie. I get tested twice a week. That's cool. Okay, now you got to be tested every day before you come in. Okay, that's cool. I'll be tested every day before I come in. Oh, now we going to have to terminate you if you don't get the shot. And what was all that other stuff for? 2 years ago. I'm heated. I'm heated now. Reese Mooney says, Joy family, Reese is in the house. All right. I'm sorry you caught me in a bad mood, but good afternoon to you. Pamela says, good afternoon. Checking in from North Avondale. Tracy says, man, dude, we getting old. Yes, we are. Yeah, I thought other people reported me too, but maybe somebody was going back and watching an old show and was like, I'm reporting him. Marcus. Got to be Marcus. Marcus, or that's a couple other people. I know I told you I got like 3 or 4 like ultra super haters. The Legion of Doom, they are coming together. The Legion of Doom, they're coming together. They play it slow, but I now see it in motion. It's in motion. So based on this, because I'm certain whatever I said over and over. Next week, I get another strike. Then the week after that, I get another strike. It'll all be from 2 years ago. And then they'll take down my page. and then feel satisfied if we took his page down. And then I just start another one. It ain't that big of a deal, but somebody told on me. Damn Legion of Doom. Let's see. Tracy, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Daryl says, what? Brent says there's an 87% chance I won't be here tomorrow. I plan on being here tomorrow. Daryl says she mad at you. What you do? She ain't mad. She wasn't mad. She was just ignoring me. She do that sometimes. And she know if I wasn't, she can ignore me while I'm doing this. But she know if she ignore me and I'm not doing this, which she does every once in a while, I just grab her by the neck and choke her. And sometimes it's, I know that's what she wants when she start ignoring me like that. She wants some physical interaction. She want me to play rough with her. And so I grab her by the neck and start choking her. And then she'll start trying to put me in a rear naked choke and all that kind of stuff. She does MMA. So she likes to play rough. So I don't know what that was about. McConnell. He say, what's up, y'all? Fairfield. Terry says she take PTO for her birthday every year. All right. Kenneth says, great day. Andre say, what's up, baby bro? Out of Roll Hill. All right. Roll Hill in the house. Oh, let's see. Daryl can't wait till next Friday because they hitting up Vegas. All right. I enjoyed Vegas. Janice says, when have I ever hated on you? Oh, let me count the ways. And I can actually do it. Just the other day, I put up the little video of me and the little baby at the Coney Island. And what you say, Janice? Something along the effect of, oh, she's so cute. Are you sure she's your granddaughter? That's hate, Janice. That's hate. That is all day, Janice. That is hate. Oh, let's see. Let me see. Checking in. She's Tashia checking in from Camp Washington. Hold on, let me scroll. It's the mouse again. After Bible study, with some other stuff that we had to handle, and then I didn't end up getting out till late, so I didn't have a chance to go to the place that I used to boycott to get my new mouse. But I'm gonna figure it out. Mike Ballard checking us out from Trenton. Oh, I'm so far behind on these comments now. Kenneth says TikTok player. I'm still waiting on the ink. I ordered it. Waiting. Jeannie, yeah, but now we know why. Daryl says somebody reported me. Yes, from 2021. Yeah, somebody was scrolling through YouTube shows, mad as hell, and decided to report. I got it narrowed down to 5 people. Can you contact them? I don't know. I haven't scrolled through yet. Yes, YouTube do. They need to stop it. No statute of limitations. It should be a statute of limitations. 2 years? It ain't even no pandemic no more, according to the government. It's no longer a pandemic. Oh boy, that's terrible. That is so terrible. Is Marcus a factor? He might have reported me. I don't know. Shahara in the house says, afternoon, everybody. Can y'all believe it's Thursday? She's present, but she won't be here for long. I have to head to a funeral shortly. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What's the story behind the TikTok shirts? I halfway know the story myself. I halfway know the story myself. It was Ron D. It was all a dream. It was Ron D. We had a conversation. I think the conversation might have got a little heated. Ron D eventually hung up the phone, and then he started texting like cryptic messages that I don't think anybody really understood. Like, oh, I got you. Oh, now you're afraid. Oh, you don't want me to expose you. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But they were just all like cryptic messages as if he had something over me. And then he kind of wrapped it all up with, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun, TikTok player, just out of nowhere. And I don't think anybody understood what the hell he was talking about, but it tickled me. It tickled me. So, we got a good laugh about it. And that's kind of pretty much it. That's kind of pretty much it. So that's the story. And the shirts are coming as soon as the ink comes in. As soon as the ink comes in. Lincoln Ware's fans reported you. Lincoln Ware told on you after your brother asked him if he watched the show. And you still puzzled about how Marcus found Wyatt. I don't know. But all right, I asked Wyatt a simple question today. I thought it was a simple question. And I know a lot of people, when I ask a question, people think, oh, he gonna try to spin whatever I say. And it was kind of a, Ketanji Brown Jackson type of vibe to it in my mind. Wyatt was talking about, some of these people who he uses the term echo chamber. Basically, if you listening to the radio, in particular, I'm gonna say the Buzz, and you basically have the one main host, and then you have, the other hosts who syndicate it, and they, to a large degree, share the same political ideology. One maybe to a larger or to a greater extreme than the other. I don't think Al Sharpton would be like, I'm not going to no protest. I got a track meet. He used to wear tracksuits. He's a big dude, but who am I to say he wasn't running in those tracksuits? But he made protests. The other one, and I'm not ashamed of it. I would do it again. I would do it again today if I needed to. So they're not as extreme as one another. One's a lot more extreme than the other, but still the same political ideology. And he's saying, it's easy to spout this political ideology when you're talking to people who agree with you, and everything you hear back, people agree with you. And on the rare occasion when somebody calls in with a different political ideology, you shoot them down. The callers behind them shoot them down. The people watching on live stream shoot them down, and so on and so forth. So, it's not really a good situation. And he was saying, look, if you lean heavily Democratic, then stop telling me how bad the Republicans are. Stop telling me how bad the Republicans are and tell me, what did the Democrats do for you? Stop telling me what the Republicans didn't do and how the Republicans is hindering you and hurting you and hating you. Tell me, what are the Democrats doing? Well, the Democrats did this for me and the Democrats did that for me. That's how you win, some people over. I guess for other people, Republicans ain't S, and Republicans is this, and Republican Party is a hate group. I believe that. But, don't talk about them. Tell me the good about you. And so as he was talking, and he was talking about it, in the context of, I want to say Cecil Thomas had called in talking about how the Republicans are blocking all of his gun reform legislation, and how Cecil Thomas seems to believe, or is suggesting that his common sense gun reform legislation will somehow help the situation of young black inner city youth killing each other. Yes, I said youth. YOOF. They are killing each other in the streets. So from that, what I extracted from that is that's a good point. Don't talk about what the Republicans are doing to hinder you if you're a Democrat. Talk about what you have done to help the situation. Now, I agree with Wyatt. I don't believe gun reform legislation is going to stop any of this violence in the streets. I don't believe that for a minute. But I decided, since, that's to some degree the premise that he was working with, I just thought it would be interesting to ask, echo chamber, what have Republicans done to stop the gun violence in the street? What have Republicans done to stop gun violence in the street? So I called in just to ask that question. I even prefaced my call. This should only be about 5 minutes because it didn't matter to me what the answer was. I was, if the answer was just a flat out lie, then I would have probably said, I don't know that that's true. But it didn't matter to me what the answer was. My point wasn't that Republicans haven't done anything or that Republicans are ineffective or that Republicans are bad or anything. My point was, all right, we talking about, the negative side of what the Democrats are doing and what they are saying. I think it's a fair question to ask the simple question. What have Republicans done? What have Republicans done? Honestly, I think it caught Wyatt a little off guard. And look, I understand this. I've been guilty of it. Somebody asks you a question and it feel like a setup. And so instead of necessarily just flat out giving a simple answer to the question, you kind of start explaining why the answer is what the answer is. And I feel like a little bit of that happened. But I like to think, I'm such a diplomat that I was able to convince him that wasn't what I was trying to do. I just had a simple question. And I just wanted a simple answer. I wasn't going to judge him or nobody else. The simple question for me was, what have the Republicans done? Nationwide, statewide, citywide, whatever. What have Republicans done to stop gun violence in the black community? Because they like to tell you that they really care about you. They like to tell you that they're there to help you and they don't like crime and they want to see this violence stop. And they like to tell you, this is all the fault of the Democrats. If Democrats weren't in power, basically you wouldn't have this situation. They like to kind of tell you that, kind of suggest that. What have the Republicans done? And the bottom line of it was, because eventually, we kind of stopped going a little back and forth. It's like, I'm not, well, what? No, but the Democrats this. I'm like, no. I'm not defending Democrats. I'm just asking, what have Republicans done? And eventually, the answer came back, well, nothing. I was like, okay. And it's like, so what was the point that you was trying to make? I'm like, there was no point except for me getting another perspective. Because if you would have laid some stuff out and been like, the Republicans have done this and they've done this and they've done that and they've done this, I'd have been like, oh, I didn't know that. If you tell me the Republicans have done nothing, I'm like, oh, okay. That was it. It was just for my information. Well, okay. Sort of it was. But of course, at the same time, what I think may have been highlighted is that, or at least from my perspective, ain't none of them really doing nothing. Democrats don't have an answer to stop this violence in the community. Republicans don't have an answer to stop this violence in the community. Individuals don't have the answer. Independents, small groups of, anti-violence people don't have the answer. We don't have the answer, or at least an answer that we can put into practice. We just don't. And I don't think either party is like, has some sort of monopoly on doing bad to the black community. But that's why again, my point was, if your point is, don't talk about what this party hasn't done or won't do, or, whatever. Talk about what your party has done. I think it's a legit question to ask. And I ask this to all of the people who are kind of Republican leaning, because, nobody ever really want to admit that they're Republican, except for, okay, I'm not going to say that. I will say we do got some weirdos who are very happy to admit that they're Republican. But a lot of people, and I think it's just the truth across the board, most people don't just fall into one camp and follow that camp religiously and faithfully. I lean very heavily Democratic because I believe the Republican Party is a hate group. Even though I believe some of the stuff that they believe, I think I believe it for different reasons. You can believe the same thing that a hateful person believes. You just don't believe it with the hate behind it. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember yesterday I talked about the whole transgender thing. I think if you're born a man, you are a man. And, you don't know what a woman feels like to say that you feel like a woman. So you're a man. I don't hate them. That's just what I believe. If you want to say you're a man or a woman or whatever, cool. You ain't hurting me. You ain't hurting me. I believe the Republican Party, on the other hand, they kind of feel the same way I feel. You born a man, you're a man. You're born a woman, you're a woman. But there's some hate there. We hate you. We want you out of, we want you to die. We want you. Well, okay. Somebody would say, so when the Republicans say they want them to die? They didn't say it. But the suggestion is there pretty strongly. For example, I don't care about them getting gender affirming care. It don't hurt me none. It don't hurt me none. But if that make you feel better, go feel better about your gender. If you tell some Republicans like, oh, they need gender affirming care because if they don't get this gender affirming care, then there's a likelihood that they'll commit suicide, that we still don't want them to get gender affirming care. We don't believe in it. It's against our religion. So you want them to die. That's an all right kind of logic to leap to. But so, yeah, that was why I asked the question on Wyatt's show. But I will put it out there for all of you Black Ben, you tell me. I'll read your 1,000 messages that will not truly explain it, possibly. But you tell me, what have Republicans done to stop violence in the inner city on these streets with our, in particular, young Black men? What have the Republicans done to help fix that situation? What have they done? And I'm open to listen. Don't tell me what the Democratic Party didn't do. Don't tell me how the Democratic Party is trying to stop them. Don't just tell me, what have they done? And I will listen. I'm not, whataboutism is a thing, and sometimes it can be used effectively. But this is just a simple question. This is just a simple question. What have they done? Y'all want us to believe that they love us and they care about us and they want to see us prosper and they want this. What have they done? And don't get mad at me. Because remember, not too long ago, we was talking about violence and I was pointing out some of the hypocrisy around the messages given around violence and how somehow they're trying to create the situation that it looks like black people are more violent and white people are less violent, or the white people's violence is somehow less affecting than black people's violence. And people got mad at me. And people said, you talking about them. We don't care about them. We don't care what they think. We talking about us. It's about we. Our babies is dying in the street, not theirs. It's about we. So don't tell me what they've done to help kids in Mason, or what they've done to help, all of these other. We talking about inner city black people who are getting killed in the streets. What has the Republican Party done to help them? And I'll listen. Because I can't say they haven't done anything. I don't know what they've done. Just because I don't know it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. So maybe it does. Maybe it does. Janice says the only thing Republicans have done is to obstruct anything that's beneficial to the American people. Look, I understand that feeling, but I'm leaving space open for Republicans to tell me what Republicans have done. I know, looking at it from the other side, it looks like something. He says, tougher on crime, and it indirectly helps our community. But look, tougher on crime don't stop crime. In order to be tough on crime, that's like Cecil saying, if we fix these gun laws, the people committing crime don't care about what the sentence is. So if Cecil fixing gun laws don't count as something that Democrats are doing to stop these young black people from shooting each other and killing each other in the street, then being tough on crime don't count either. Because you can only be tough on crime after the crime has happened. What are they doing to stop it, to create a situation where it doesn't happen? Remember, if getting guns off the streets don't count, being tough after a crime has happened doesn't count. And again, I'm open to listen. But tough on crime, what have they done to stop, to prevent people from doing these crimes? There is no statistic for someone who considered the penalty and never attempted the crime. There's also no statistic for somebody who wanted to shoot somebody but didn't have a gun. So that becomes just as effective as Democrats wanting to create stiffer gun laws. I put those two in the same category. Unless you have a statistic, how many people wanted to commit a crime but didn't have access to a gun, so they didn't do it. See what I'm saying? It's the same thing. You got no statistic about that. Edward says, it don't matter who in charge, mass shooting's going to happen. And they and we like to point out the political affiliation of the governor or mayor or president when they occur, and it bears absolutely zero on the shooting. I don't know about absolutely zero, but I agree very, very little, if any. Absolute zero, I'm not sure. But I get your point. Democrats have been tougher on crime than Republicans. Look at the Joe Biden crime bill. Yeah. Tracy says, why most mass shooters be white people? And Jack says, these twisted definitions. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Will you buy a car through a bank with lower interest rates? No, I pay cash. But okay. But that was that. And I'm leaving the door open for someone to tell me, something concrete. Tell me what have now again, I genuinely, sincerely believe the answer is nothing. And that's not even necessarily an indictment on the Republican Party. Because what can you do? What can you really do? And I think people trying to argue, well, they did this and well, they did that, those are partisans. I think those are partisans. Yeah, we tried some stuff. But it's kind of like what I was saying, I believe yesterday, or maybe the day before. Yesterday kind of descended into chaos. But maybe the day before. When are we going to start dealing with the reason behind the shootings? And once we start dealing with that, then we can maybe get somewhere. Then maybe we can get somewhere. But let me tell you, I watched, and I have to admit, my heart is like still broken. My heart is still broken. I watched a murder, a cold-blooded, brutal murder of multiple people. It was like a drive-by in stages and then a run-up to finish the job. It was a video that somehow came across my feed. I don't know when or where this video was from. This could have been an old video from, the cars look relatively, but this could have been a 10-year-old video for all I know. But watching such brutality, and I watched it, I'm just going to describe it real quick. Dudes were standing outside. It looked like an AutoZone. I'm certain it wasn't. But they were standing outside. A car rolled by and sprayed with bullets. Like 3 or 4 people went down. Another dude pulled out his gun and he started shooting at the car that had just driven by. Shooting. Well, a second car came, maybe 30 seconds later. Pop, 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 hitting him and some other people. Some of the people who were on the ground pulled out their guns. Everybody there was armed and started kind of shooting back in their direction. But then some people then came walking by and started shooting. So for real, it was like in waves. So then it was all these people down on the ground. Somebody came out of the building kind of to look. And when they came out, the people who were in the vehicles got out of the vehicles and they walked towards the scene. And the people were on the ground, kind of looked like they might have already perished, but they wanted to make sure. They shot them up. And I was just like, oh my goodness, just the brutality of that. Somebody said it was in Brazil. It don't matter to me where it was or when it was. Like I said, for all I know, it was 10 years ago. But seeing such brutality just made me think, I think maybe as the human race, something is off with a certain portion. Like, I don't understand. I know I didn't grow up a certain way. I'm a, quote, good guy. There are people who would argue the opposite. But for some people, I'm a good guy. I don't understand what is in the heart or the spirit of a man or woman. When I say man, I mean mankind. What's in the heart or the spirit of a man that makes him so comfortable taking a life? And I'll be honest with you, it absolutely breaks my heart to think that there are genuinely people who don't care. who don't care. Now look, I understand there are reasons. There are reasons to do stuff. I get it. I get that everybody got, whatever they rationalize in their minds as the reason why I have to do this. And I think a lot of us could find a reason to do some bad stuff. You can find a reason to do some bad stuff. But I don't think, look, like I said, short of like self-defense. If I'm somewhere and you know what I'm saying, you start shooting at me and I have my weapon, my plan is to kill you so that you can't shoot me. That I understand. Because I'm going to feel bad about that afterwards. Like, not bad, like, oh, I should have let him kill me bad, but bad like, I just took a life. I never wanted to take a life, and now I've just been put in a position to take a life, and I'm not happy about it. But a lot of these people don't have that. Or at least if they did, what happened to suppress it? Kenneth says, some are natural born killers. I don't know that I believe in that. And I think you gotta look back at somebody's life and see what led them there. But oh my goodness, it's just horrible. It's just horrible. Watching that video, I don't know. I didn't feel good about, humanity for a minute. I was just like, this is, I know some of y'all think this is crazy, but I don't care. I was just like, God, when you gonna step in and make this stuff stop? We need you to stop this, because we don't have an answer. Everybody, oh, what we can do as the parents? Oh, we don't have an answer. I mean, people do what they can do. And I understand the idea of, oh, if you help one and you've done something, that's true. That's true. Go yell at them and cuss them out. Call them MFs and tell them what's in store for them. Tell them your story. Tell them about how you spent 30 years in prison for the bad stuff you did. Make it real to them. For some people, that'll work. Take somebody really successful in there and show them what can happen to them if they make the right choices. For some people, that'll work. But it's just such a crapshoot to figure out what's going to work for who. How can we make this stuff work? GC says, we do have the answer. We do. We just don't. We just don't want to put forth the effort that it'll take to bring real change. GC, we do not have the answer. We don't have the answer. It's not a lack of effort. We don't have the answer. Okay, we have the answer again in the super simplistic way of everybody just change your heart and your mind. Yeah, if everybody on earth changed their heart and their mind and said no more violence, then there you go. That's the answer. But how do you get people to do that? You know what I'm saying? All of the answers sound simple, but they not. GC says, see, I'm not on the spiritual tip with it. That ain't on the spiritual tip. Change your heart and mind is not on the spiritual tip. That's just some simple change the way you think. You don't need to be spiritual to do that. Again, it's easy to say. It's easy to say. Not so easy to do. Hold on. Somebody calling me. Caller.
Emanuel Livingston.
GC.
Now, I'm not even thinking spiritual on it. See, I'm not one of these super duper spiritual people who think prayer and just everybody do the right thing is even going to make it work. It's even going to make it happen. It's going to take some real work. It's going to take change on all levels, and it's going to take some consistency. And it's going to take people not being so daggone selfish to really put forth the effort and work in the arena or the sphere that you work. Everybody do their part. It really would. But we got all the way from the White House down, everybody doing whatever they want to do, doing whatever seems right in their own eyes, and we're living by our own heart and our own desire and our own will.
Right, but GC, that's why I'm saying we don't have the answer
But we really do.
But we really don't.
Yes, we do. The answer is less selfishness, more working together as a community, more people putting forth some sacrificial efforts.
But yes. GC, using that logic, because I really do understand what you're saying, but using that logic, we got the answer to everything. Hunger. Hey, hunger, go away. Everybody, just share what you got and don't let nobody else go hungry.
No, but there are people that is dealing with that.
Just change your heart and, give
that's all that spiritual stuff. I'm not on that spiritual stuff. I'm not on all that spiritual. And Lord knows I'm spiritual. Because let me tell you something.
That is the same thing that you're saying, GC. Like, look, everybody, stop being selfish. Do you really
and people are, no, not just on that level. Because let me tell you something. Money, well, the Bible said money answers all things, in a sense. Because it's going to take money and time. But you know what we really don't give people, Emanuel?
What's that?
Time. It's more than about just throwing because I used to be good at that. Well, I write a check. And I got, I started having my heartstrings got started to be pulled on. It's more than just writing a check. It's more than just giving somebody some money. It's time. Time. And, and I can talk about some stuff. You know why? Y'all don't even know really where I came from. I really do have a testimony. Serious one. And people put time in. And that's what I have done, though. I've done more than just write a check and give them a little money getting low. But I've put in time, volunteer as well as work. So we all could do more. So we could, like, for instance, but here's the thing, you ain't going to be able to change people's hearts. And let me tell you something, we living by the sword and we dying by the sword. In these days, people are getting what they want. In these days, because one thing now, I heard you say, well, God, come on, God said I was giving you everything that pertains to life and godliness. That's what everything that pertains to life, that's your natural life, and godliness, that's your spiritual life. I'm giving you everything. I'm going to give you a choice. Choose. You can choose life or you can choose death. Choose life.
But GC, look.
Again. Go ahead.
Again, I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
It ain't no abracadabra. There ain't no P.O. we're going to tell you. There ain't no abracadabra. This is,
right.
We got us here. We got us here. We, not on, when I mean we, I mean the human race. I'm not talking about black, because white people toe up too.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody's toe up. Everybody, they think their kids, now their kids, all this other, they fit in all our, so everybody's jacked up. Because let me tell you something. Those people that got in that submarine didn't have nothing else to do. I don't know why they did it. I ain't even necessarily judging them, but they didn't think it through. All that billions did not stop them from coming back up.
But GC,
see, we ain't thinking either. Go ahead. I'm trying to let you go. Go ahead.
No, but GC, look,
ain't no GC.
I'm sorry. What you want me to call you? What?
I don't know. Go ahead. I'm just saying. You know me when I get all passionate.
I understand what you're saying, but to say that we have the answer,
we do, Emanuel.
We don't.
We do. We're
because
just not doing anything.
Look, everybody's never gonna all
agree.
Stop being selfish.
They're not gonna all agree.
Everybody's not gonna, just start doing the right thing. Everybody's not.
No.
See, that would be the answer if we could somehow make everybody just start doing the right thing. That would be the answer.
But that's what
We
But see, we want people to do that just like that. That's what we see. We want it overnight, and we didn't get here
it
overnight.
don't
And
matter
that's
how long over the
yeah,
next 1,000 years, the
well,
planet
it
is
would take
not
some time.
ever gonna be all on one accord. It's not gonna
Well, of course
happen.
not. Of course not. But you can affect enough change, and hopefully one reach one, teach one. I mean, that's how that thing works. And there's people, Emmanuel, that are really have really come through some hard stuff and some hard times, and they're doing okay because somebody came back and walked with them and spent the time with them and put the energy into them. So ain't everybody is all jacked up, you know? I'm just saying, they really aren't.
You have
You know,
what you have, GC, is you have things that you can do to make small changes in small pockets. And there's
well, but
nothing
you
and there's nothing
have to
wrong
start
with that.
small.
But I
You have
think
to start small.
it's always going to be small.
Well, but see, do not despise the day of small beginning.
I'm not
Do not,
despising it.
despise it. Well, because small things don't really, that's like a ripple. You may throw one pebble in a pond, and that ripple effect can ripple out and affect a whole lot more on a wider level.
Well, it's not
And
going
I'm
to
not
affect
meaning just one person,
it's not going to
but
affect that much.
but it really is affecting. See, again, it really is.
No,
It
it
really is.
again, it can affect some. So I'm not trying to discourage you. I encourage you. I'm
Oh, you
glad that
can't
you
discourage.
do.
Oh, you
I'm
can't discourage
glad that
me.
you do the
You
things
can't
that you
discourage
do, and I know you do a lot of things that no one knows that you
that I don't
do.
even talk about because I don't have
Exactly.
to get on here and act like I don't have to get on the news. I ain't got to do none of that. I ain't got to do none of that.
You're gonna be the
Right.
friend of the week one of these days. But I think
Ah, no, I'm not.
that
No, I'm not.
yes, you are.
Never be the
You
You want to
are.
make a bet now? Now, me and you gonna make a bet on that one, and I'm dead.
But hold
Come
on.
on.
Okay, before I make the bet, I really just got one question.
What?
Do you have Lincoln Ware's personal phone number?
I'm not gonna. I'm not
Yes.
gonna confirm or deny.
The answer is yes. Does Lincoln Ware have your personal phone number?
I'm not. Well, because the judge on her. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That means you
So
in the
she's
running.
his friend. She's his friend,
Yeah,
and she's already been.
exactly.
But
That
I'm gonna
means
say this though.
you are in the running.
But Emmanuel, I'm gonna see if you picked up on something. I'm gonna see if you picked up on this since you're so smart. When did Judge trying to become the citizen of the week?
Oh, I don't remember the exact week, but a few
Well, it was
weeks
a
ago.
holiday week. It was a holiday week, and she only got a couple of days exposure there, like maybe that Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe that Friday. I picked up on it so quick.
But hold on, let me ease your mind about that. It don't matter. It don't
Well, I know.
matter. You know what I'm saying? He really is. He just picking his friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's his award, and he can give it to all his friends. But the point that I was making by saying that is, you do a lot of good in the community, and I don't want to even attempt to discourage you from doing that. All I'm saying is, you keep doing what you're doing, and you may affect some change. But
I really
when I
have I really have in the sphere, and I'm not saying it from an arrogant point of view, but where my mission field is, I have just like somebody affected in me, and that's what I have to stay focused on. What's laying at my gate,
Mhm.
and what can I do to affect change there?
Exactly.
And yes, and I can do better. Listen to me, I can do better, and I can do
Okay.
more. And so that's all I'm saying.
But GC,
Go ahead.
and all I'm saying is when we talk about, because when people talk about what's the answer, people want to see an end to this
I know.
violence in
I
the
know.
streets.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
don't have an answer for that. To
Not
me,
right away.
right, to have the answer would be, hey, there's been no shootings. No black men have killed other black men in the last, 8 months. Like, wow, we solved it. That's
Well, remember when you called a moratorium on it and there was no shootings? Do you remember that?
I do remember that. It
Maybe
happened
more
for,
people could do more of that.
did it happen for like a week? Was it a week?
I think it was about a week. I'm not. I think it was about a week or close to it.
Yeah.
And that's when the shootings were really on the rise. There,
Yeah.
remember?
And then
Yeah.
hold on. Can I tell you something? This is the honest to goodness truth. And I hate saying stuff like this, but the truth is the truth. I'm gonna just say that was in my spirit to do, In my
I hear
mind,
you.
I never believed in it. But
Mm,
something said to me,
mm. Come on up in here. I
just
already know.
say
Come
it.
on up
If
in
you
here.
if you for real just speak it out, it'll happen. And I thought, well,
Mm,
what's the worst that could happen? I could say
mm,
it and it
mm.
not work. But
Oh, man.
being
Mm,
given that opportunity to do it, and Lincoln let me do it for like 5 days straight. And we had no shootings for those days. And then that next day that I wanted to do it, he was like, nah, that's stupid. And I was like, just let me, what could it hurt? And he said no. And then we had a shooting that night. Now, was
yeah.
that coincidence? Possibly. Maybe,
Well, I
probably.
mean, and those are the things I'm telling you. In now, because the issues that's plaguing our communities, all of them, is so strong and so systemic and so traumatic and so deep. Oh my God. It's just, that's where the work lies. And, it's just, we got so many, our systems are all jacked up. There's so much going on. That's why you say that, because it's so overwhelming. It's like, oh my God, and we don't have an answer to say, do this and this will happen. But stuff like what you did, if we all stepped out on that, and just did something, and it might not make sense, because remember, we don't have all the answers in our head here. So I'm going to agree with you right there. But you said that something said, I'm going to call him the Holy Spirit, your spirit man that's wise and ain't thinking about all this other stuff, motivated you to do that, or inspired you to do that, and we were all were to do something like that, or just put our minds together and just get together. I remember when you had an initiative for the fatherless program, for the fathers, with the initiative for the fathers. I was really hoping you had to get started on that, and I know I could have
I
did more too. I thought
well,
I would.
I did some stuff. I didn't do it like really open and publicly, but I had an email set up, and I reached out to a number of those people who, and some fathers got in their children's lives. Some of them got their
Okay.
child support stopped
See.
because they were able
Okay.
to communicate with the mother, and they were willing
Yeah.
to do what was right,
Okay.
and it was just a
Okay.
matter of talk and be willing to sit down and get rid of the animosity. But I really should have continued to pursue it and do it on a much larger scale.
But you did it where you could, and went, and where it was at. And you know something, since you talked about that, do you know I started seeing more awesome black fathers? Sometimes we have myopic views. When you start talking about they're a good father, maybe you should tell they're a good, I get sick of y'all saying that. Don't you know I started seeing really good, black fathers, supportive fathers around the kids. Some of my nephews are. And I wasn't even seeing them. I thought they should be doing more. Da, 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 da. No, they were working with what they had, with what they were doing at the time. And they're a pretty good dad.
Yeah.
And so I started seeing more of that, because you started saying it. So that's another thing. It's what we're looking at too. What are we looking at? I'm choosing to see the glass half full, even though Lord knows. Ooh, but and I don't have no children or nothing. I don't have no dogs in the fight, but I have got nieces and nephews that I'm hoping that they can have a better opportunity and better way of life. And then, of course, your little grandbaby. God, I love that little girl. I mean, oh Lord, Emmanuel.
Oh,
But anywho,
that little
I
precious.
said, yeah, she's the cutest little thing in the world. But I enjoyed you and your brother too yesterday. Oh my God, I so enjoyed y'all. Nate has changed. He's no longer the Nate Livingston that we knew.
He has
I'm
changed.
just telling. Oh my God, and I think it's spiritual. I think it's some spiritual. I saw something on him yesterday, and I said, "Look at Nate, ain't being Nate." So I thought that was sweet. But anywho, I just wanted to call in. There's just so much going on. It really is, Emmanuel.
Hey, I appreciate you supporting me. I appreciate you calling in. And I
And
appreciate
I
the stuff
appreciate you.
that you do that nobody else knows. Like, I know you do stuff that I don't even know about. So I appreciate the stuff that you do that nobody knows that you do, but you're making a difference.
I appreciate you too. You've made a difference, and I hope that at some point, well, I don't know, but this is a nice platform too. So let's just pray that you grow where you are. How about that?
All right. I'll take that.
Okay. All right. All
All
right,
right.
man. Talk with you later.
All right. Have a
Bye
good one.
bye. You too.
All right. That's GC. I love GC too. I'm throwing that love word around a lot, but I mean it. I love GC. Me and GC, y'all don't understand. We have a special laughing relationship. Just saying it, I can't help but to laugh. We have a special laughing relationship. GC used to call the radio station. Sometimes she would just call and we would just start laughing about, like, we don't even have to say it. Like, just when I pick up the phone and she like, this is GC, we would just bust out laughing. And sometimes it felt like we would just laugh for 5 minutes straight, like hard. Told y'all sometimes I felt like I was going to pass out laughing. GC is, I absolutely, we had a ball, and we also had some conversations. And I know some things that she's done and some things that she's doing that she's made public. I know she does things behind the scenes that nobody knows about. And I'm certain that she's done a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes that, I don't know about. And I can always appreciate that. I can always appreciate that. I put a post on my page not too long ago. And I said, I know some amazing people that none of y'all ever heard of. And some people got mad about that. Some people got mad because I said, I know some amazing people that none of y'all ever heard of. And because there are people who believe the only amazing people are the people that you heard of. Celebrities, actors and entertainers, singers, rappers, athletes, and those, your high profile people and civil rights movements and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm always like, no, no, not that they can't be amazing, but those ain't the only amazing people in the world. I didn't understand why anybody would get angry because I said I know some amazing people, because I do. And yeah, y'all never heard of them. If I said their name right now, you'd be like, ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? But they are. And I think it's one of the things that was kind of going on in the chat earlier on the Lincoln Ware show was about who can reach out to people, who can reach the young people. I think a lot of times in communities, people don't see themselves as somebody who can reach out to people because they haven't had a certain experience or they haven't reached a certain level, a certain status. But I'm here to tell you, to encourage you, you can make a difference. You, the individual you watching right now, you can make a difference. Don't be, look, I told this story once and I think it changed a couple people perspective. Growing up, I never played, the only organized sport that I ever played was soccer. Outside of that, and I had to kind of enroll myself in that, sneak and enroll myself in that. But other than that, all the sports I played was just on the street. We played football. We played basketball. We played baseball. We play, you know what I'm saying? The little things that you play in the street. And when I say in the street, of course, I don't mean in the street. I mean, we would go to the park and, pick teams and play a game of football. Good hardcore tackle on for years, every Thanksgiving in the morning, snow, rain, whatever. Every Thanksgiving, I met a group of dudes. This was out at GEEAA Park. And we played a hardcore game of football. Like people got hurt and stuff. And then you get to a certain age and you're like, okay, this ain't good. Bones don't heal like they used to. But when I was in my, trying to think, I had to probably be around 20, anywhere between 20, 24 years old. So for like those 3-4 years, we went out and we went hard. But I never played organized sports. And I was telling the story, this was on the radio station, about how I coached football. I coached youth football. Yeah, little kids, kindergarten through the 6th grade. And people was giving me a hard time, like, how you coach football? Look at you short. Look at look at you never play no organized football, blah, blah, blah. I was like, it didn't really matter. To them kids, it didn't matter. They didn't. I actually did used to joke with them. I would tease them. I told them I was in the Hall of Fame. They knew I was. I don't know why I like to tease little kids like that. Tell them stuff that they know ain't true, but really pretend like it's true and knowing that they know it. And then they used to spend all their time trying to catch me in the lie. I don't know why I liked to do that to the kids, but it was fun. It was one of the things that I did. But anyway, I helped coach those kids. I wasn't the coach. I was on the coaching staff. What was my job? Ask me what my job was. Ask me what my job was. A lot of times, my job was to keep them from squirting each other with water on the sideline during the game. That was my job. A lot of times, my job when they came off the field and the coach hollered and screamed at them, and then they was crying, my job was to pull them to the side and be like, "Come on, man, you can do it. Come on, stop crying. You know the play. Just encourage them." That was my job. During practice, the coach might be like, "Here's the drill. Here's the drill." And they would do the drill. I comprehend. And then he would go, to another group. And now I'm sitting here supervising the drill. I'm supervising the drill. That was my job. Had, multiple jobs because, Little League. And anyway, I was telling these stories. And I remember Carlos Snow called into the station. Or was he a guest either way? Carlos Snow was like, you know what? Hearing that dude talk about how he coached and being open about the fact that he had no experience in playing organized football. He's not some super great athlete or anything like that, but he just gets out there and he spends time with those kids and he helps them learn. He was like, I never really thought about it, but I don't know if he ever did it or not. He was like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to volunteer and I'm going to help coach some youth football. And a number of dudes, followed suit and, hey, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to help coach. And I don't know if any of them did it, but the whole point to this is you can make an impact. There's still one of those kids that I coached. Legit. He's still in the NFL. I can't remember. I don't know if he got traded, whatever, but he was with Green Bay for a while. He played for Miami. And I don't remember which team he went to, but he's still in the NFL now. And if I call him, he gonna be like, Coach, oh, you remember when you told me this? And you remember when you told me that? And he not gonna sound like that now. Coach, hey, Coach, I remember when you said this, hey, Coach. That was a terrible big dude voice. But the point is, not Antonio Freeman. He's an offensive lineman. He's an offensive lineman. But the point is, man, that stuff still stick with these kids. I run into these grown men because I still look at them as the little kids that they was. I still run into these young men from time to time. Well, these men, because they like 30, 31, somewhere in that vicinity. And they still be like, hey, Coach. And they always got a story for me about something that I said or something that I did that influenced them. Now, of course, I'm not telling this story to pump me up. I'm telling this story to encourage people that while we don't have the answer, you can still be an influence. I believe with 100% belief that a few of those kids was on the wrong path. Because, you know what I'm saying? Some of their parents, you know what I'm saying? some of their parents and then some of their siblings, and where some of their siblings have ended up. And when a kid come to you and be like, you know what, coach, I would have been on that same path, but I remember when you told me. And you be like, wow, I was just, you know what I'm saying, giving you what I thought was some good advice, whatever. But no, for real, a kid has actually come and told me when his brother, ended up in jail, well, in prison for a significant amount of time, that had it not been for what I said to him, some passing comment that I made for him, that always stuck with him, he would have been doing the exact same thing that his brother was doing, and they would both be in prison. You can't argue with that. You know what I'm saying? You can't argue with that. So I don't have the answer. I don't think we have the answer. But I understand what GC's saying, and I agree. You do the best you can. Sitting on the sidelines is not necessarily, well, I was literally sitting on the sidelines, but you know what I'm talking about, kind of metaphorically. Sitting on the sidelines is not necessarily gonna help. Get into the battle, however you can get into the battle. However you can get into the battle. Everybody ain't gonna have the time and the energy to go out and help coach a youth football team. And there's many other things that you can do. But like I said, I don't have the answer. But I encourage anybody who's doing good. I encourage anybody who's doing good. Daryl says his first year, he was on the coaching staff of the 9-10-year-olds with Icky Woods, and his son passed away. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. His son was the quarterback. I remember that. Janice says, yes, positive words and encouragement can come from anyone, and it can be just what that child needs to hear at that particular time. Something that can change their entire life. Look, I'm telling you. What? Hold on, let me see. Where is Adam playing right now? Oh. He played. So he played for Green Bay, Tennessee, went back to Green Bay, Miami, and the Jets. I'll be hesitant to do stuff like that. But he's 29 years old. And I remember this guy when he was a little bitty kid. He was a little bitty kid in the kindergarten, and I'm coaching him. His grandfather used to come to the game. He was an older guy, so he was kind of frail. Him and his brother, I always felt like they used to, ever so slightly take advantage of the fact that their grandfather was a little frail. Not horrendously, but ever so slightly. And I used to, work with this little kid. And then you look up, this is a grown man in the NFL. And you like, I didn't really have a whole lot to do with that. But you never know in terms of who you can influence. You never know. So, yeah, get out there and do something. Get out there and do something. And here's one thing I definitely agree with Wyatt on. Not that he's the only person that's ever said this, but I definitely agree with Wyatt. You got to catch these kids when they're young, like really young. Like really young. Hold on. I got another call coming in. Oh, CK called in and you hung up, CK, before I could get to you. You can call back CK. So I'm not saying don't volunteer with teenagers or anything like that, but man, if you can volunteer with some really young kids and just be positive towards them, don't be mean, don't be, you know what I'm saying? I mean, as kids, sometimes you got to be a little stern, you got to be a little whatever, but be encouraging and positive. You never know what change that might make in a kid's life. CK.
Hey man, what's going on, man? That's a good ass show today. You got to admit that was a good ass show. I came in when you were talking about the movie at the top of the hour. You
What
said
movie?
it was a shooting
That terrible
AutoZone.
video.
Yeah, they talking about they got out the car, made sure they was dead.
Yes.
Everybody knew what movie. They ain't even had to click on it. They didn't seen it. They didn't. And then
No, no,
I
no, no. Hold
called
on,
you.
hold on, hold on. No, this wasn't a movie. This was an
Yeah, this was
actual, yeah, an actual video of an actual murder.
same thing. Same thing.
Okay.
Ain't nothing different. I mean, you gotta think it's still violence. You know what I mean? It's fantasy, reality, same thing. Ain't no different. Murder is murder, even if it's fiction. You gotta understand. Because I just seen you had an NFL player on there. This you done got this dude from nothing all the way to millions of dollars in the
Well,
NFL.
hold on, wait. I didn't get him from there to there. I was not the driving force. I was there to stop him from spraying people with water. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get him from there to there. And he's not the one who told me if it wasn't for when you said this. And I'll be honest, the kid who did tell me that, I didn't even remember saying what he said that I said. But I'm glad that I said it because it kept him out of prison for, a decade or so. So, but no, I didn't get him to the NFL.
You said kept him out of prison for a decade, so he went back out to 10?
But no. I'm saying
Oh.
the Adam was not the kid who told me I kept him out of prison. That's number one. Number two,
Oh yeah.
the kid that told him
Mm-hmm.
that what I said kept him out of prison, I'm saying his brother went to prison for a decade. And his point was, I would have been with him doing what he was doing. So we would have both got caught and we'd have both been in prison for over 10 years. But
Yep.
because
And
of what
then,
you said, I didn't do it.
but see now, if you go to prison now, all you got to do is say you identify as a woman, so they can lock you in the women's prison, and you ain't got to be in there with all those dudes. You got to outsmart the system.
I don't know if that's how that works.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works. And then you can get the inmates pregnant. It already happened before. You should have did a show on it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, use they weapons against them and get all their women pregnant. You know what I mean? But I like how you got this man to the NFL because it's just like when Ali touched. Remember, Ali went to see Mike Tyson when he was in prison, and once he touched him on his shoulder, that led him to the heavyweight championship. Without meeting Ali, he wouldn't have never been inspired to be the heavyweight champion. Without that little boy meeting you in Cincinnati, Ohio, and you coaching him on his team, he wouldn't been in the National Football League.
I'm
You
not.
gotta
I don't.
understand that.
Number one, I don't know that that's true. Number two, he lived in Hamilton, and I don't know that that's true. I don't accept credit for that, but I am proud of him. That's why I put him up there because I'm very proud of him. The discipline that it takes because he keep making the practice squad, and then he gets signed to the team later on, and then he get bumped to the practice, and so just his stick to itiveness, if that's a word, makes me proud of him. More so than he's in the NFL. I mean, that's cool, that's great. But the fact that he look, this is what I want to do, and y'all keep saying I'm not good enough, but then I keep showing y'all, every opportunity y'all give me, I am good enough. So that's
Yep.
why I'm very proud of that young man.
And that's how you do it. Even from the big, the superstars to the guys on his level, it's still like that because they get to a point where they can't make it. Carmelo, you know what I mean? They got to go overseas. Dominique Wilkins, you know what I mean? So you got to stick with it because it's an exclusive club to make it to these professional. It ain't like the most the smartest people. It's the battle. It's the strong It's the, you know, but you're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
strong. Only the strong survive. But I can't believe I didn't know this, man. You just and then it's good how you kept this under wraps. We didn't know that you had a kid in the NFL.
I don't
We
have
didn't
a
know this for many years.
I don't have a kid in the NFL. But no, I've told that story before, but that was years ago that I told the story. Of course, he wasn't in the NFL at that time. But uh, I don't know if you've ever coached a youth team and you've ever seen this kid. And believe it or not, he was not like the standout talent, but all
Hmm.
of us as coaches was like, he gonna make it. Like if any of these kids make it to the NFL, he gonna make it just because of how hard he worked, and he was determined to do and to be great at it, even though he wasn't. He was determined that he was gonna be. So yeah, it was for him. It was one of those deals.
Yeah, you got to be mentally strong. Like you said, is mental, and like you said, anything can happen. You seen what happened in AutoZone. At any given moment, somebody could just come pop you. It don't matter if you got your pistol on you or not. So for you to survive the deadly, so you said this Hamilton, that's more dangerous than Cincinnati. For him to come out of Hamilton, that's even better. You know what I mean? To come out of this violence and to make it to the rich and famous lifestyles of the rich and famous. You know what I mean? It's like wow. You know, I mean, I never made it to the league myself. I never made it to the NFL or the Major League Baseball.
Hold on, did you play
Never.
either of those sports?
Yep, yep. I played baseball and I played football, and then the coach, I the coach stripped. He made the people, the players strip all my equipment off me at the football in high school. They took all my shoulder pads, all my pads off. They made the whole team strip me down. Yep,
What?
yep.
Did you play in college?
No, I ain't never make it to college. Nope, nope. I ain't never make it to college, but
But
I'm just saying.
I think when you say I never made it to the NFL, you should kind of lead more with I never played in college. Because if you say, you know what, I played football, I never made it to the NFL, that makes people think you were like, at least a starter in college. Maybe not a standout, but you played in college a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite of that dude. He's a success. I'm what you call a failure, a loser. Like he has something to live for. I'm one of them people. You like, why don't you just hurry up and blow your brains out? But like I say, I'm looking for courage.
You're
You know what I
definitely
mean?
you're definitely not a loser. Nobody wants you to blow your brains out. And
How you gonna say I ain't a loser? I ain't got nothing. I ain't succeeded at nothing. Hey,
that's
what?
not
Oh, look
true.
how many.
That's not true. You have succeeded at something. Do you
Nate,
understand? So you don't know this, and this is a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. There are people who I talk to, and there are people who are like, "Oh my goodness, when CK call, like I'll be ready to get off the live thing, but then when CK call, like I got to stay there." Like you bring joy to people's lives.
are you freaking serious?
I'm 100, bro. Now, look, I'm telling you, I am 100% serious. People tell me that. I've had, I don't know how many people tell me, boy, when I be ready to go, but when CK call or when CK call, I get happy. Like, oh, I can't wait to hear CK. That is 100% the truth. I'm not just saying that. It's 100% true. You bring joy to people's lives, bro.
Man, that make me feel good. That make me, but the only reason I ain't did it yet because I got too much family, and like I said, I still got both my parents alive. How you look killing yourself and you got elderly parents? It's like they gonna be like you. They your family will turn on you if you commit suicide with you know what I'm saying. Because it's not natural for you to die before your parents. So if you kill yourself, they're gonna be looking at you like, man. But like I say, it takes a lot of. It takes what? What's the word I'm looking for? Courage.
All right.
And I don't have the courage, but it just, man. But that's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. Maybe I'm gonna turn it around, and then I'll be having a little hope. What they say, keep hope alive, Jesse Jackson. But that hope then be dwindling, man. It's like, man, I can't win the shit.
Well,
Told you I be gambling.
well, stop gambling, but definitely keep hope alive. And I really mean it for real, bro. You bring joy to people's lives, and what more can you really ask for?
That's good. That's good. You right, man. You right, man. I got it. I'm gonna get back on my grind. Only reason I want to end it all because I was at the pinnacle. I was where I wanted to be, and then like lost it. When you fumble the bag, that's where you know what I mean. That's where you want to end it. You know
What
when you it's not. You know what I mean. I was
I,
at the pinnacle, and then
what
I lost it all.
what was the pinnacle?
You know, wife, kids, career, everything. And you
Really?
know, then you lose all that. Yeah, I lost all that. Oh, that hurt.
What may I
So,
ask? What was your career?
oh man, I was a transportation person. I get people, I get you there, get you wherever you need to go,
You,
making good money,
you
and
mean
I was making good money and tips.
hold on? You mean like a bootleg cab?
No, I was professional. It wasn't no bootleg. It was for a company.
Oh, so
Yeah,
what?
I was
And you
doing.
can't get back into that?
Yeah, I got to, man. I got to.
You know, but why don't you think about like starting with just like Uber or something?
Yeah. Yeah, like you say, I'm just now. It's the comeback phase. It's like that's the only reason I be wanting because it's just the fear, or can I do it? And just trying to do better, digging a bigger hole. It's just oh man.
But I'm here to tell you, you can do it. You can do
Yep,
it.
yep, yep, yep. That's why I be calling your show, man. See, your show was inspiring. Like when I seen you and your brother on the count on the TV screen, I say, look at them, they doing good, and they done came up all the way from Pampers, and they still together 50 years later. So that was inspiring. So that type of stuff keep me alive because I understand heart. I do got a good heart, so I recognize. I see a lot of I see a good family, and then you inspired me when you said nobody in your family mess with drugs. I was impressed.
All right.
Yep, yep, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate you though, man. Appreciate you talking to a loser,
Hey,
a
we
born
appreciate you,
loser.
CK,
Yes,
and
sir.
keep your head up.
Yes, sir.
All
Much
right.
love to the family. Yes, sir.
All right. That was CK. All right. I believe in CK. I believe in I believe in most people. I believe in most people. A lot of times you just gotta start. The journey, whatever the journey is, seems exceptionally difficult. But then you start and then you look back and you like, I can't believe I waited that long to start. Cause you know what I'm saying? You can see some gains, some achievement. I remember when I went to college, when I went back to college, I was like, oh my goodness. My first class was a psychology class. It's like, I'm too old to be doing this. I'm just too old. I said, I'm gonna do it. And I remember probably about halfway through thinking, if I would have put this off any more time, like I was like, maybe I'll do it in 6 months. Maybe I'll do it next year. It's like I wouldn't be here now. So you sometimes you just gotta start a thing, and sometimes starting is the toughest part. So you gotta start if you wanna. Like me right now. I am 52 years old. I'm thinking about going back to school. I'm thinking about go ahead and get that paralegal, and then maybe chase the law degree. Maybe like, all right, man, you're 52 years old. This would be too much money. It'll be too much time. Uh, what else am I doing? I mean, if I can fit it in my schedule, you know what I'm saying? The point is, think about where you want to be, and then you work to get there. You got to get started. You got to get started. And a lot of times getting started is the hardest part. It is the hardest part. Now hold on. go here. Gotta go there. They done changed this interface on me. So even from yesterday, the interface is different than it was yesterday. Plus, of course, I'm in YouTube jail. For those of y'all who just tuned in, if you typically watch the show on my personal YouTube page, you can't see it on that page now because I'm in YouTube jail for something that happened over 2 years ago. Over 2 years ago. Get that law degree and sue you. No, I'm just playing. I'm not going to sue nobody. Well, I'm not going to sue YouTube for that. 513-717-5464. Oh, my time is almost up. And you know we got tomorrow, First Amendment Friday. So that's happening. And I'm waiting for the ink to come in. As soon as the ink come in, the shirts will be printed. I'll be able to show you what they are. I think I might do some hoodies as well. I'll be able to show you what the shirts are, and you'll be able to decide whether you want one or not. And, you know, we'll just go from there. We'll go from there. But as always, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all support. Again, I have to admit, I'm still a little, I'm not sad. I'm still a little messed up from that video. And if that's how people are getting down. That's how people are getting down. Man, I'm distraught. I do not plan on having any turtlenecks. I don't plan on having any turtlenecks. Oh, no, that was something else that I wanted to talk about. I'm reading this thing on, I don't remember where I was reading it. And they were talking about India Ari. And India Ari had some level of criticism for Janelle Monáe and I can't remember who the other artist was. Megan Thee Stallion. Something about their Essence Awards or their Essence Festival performances. And she was basically saying, because I don't feel like finding it to pull it up. But basically what she was saying was, look, we understand that there are, you know, people who want to do stuff in the performance realm that's a little, but come on, y'all. Have some class. Have some class about y'all. You can do anything you want to do, but do you necessarily have to do that? And what she was talking about was, you know, all of the kind of gyrating and stuff that Megan Thee Stallion do. And I saw a little clip of Janelle Monáe's performance, and she actually pulled a titty out at the Essence Festival on stage in the middle of a performance in front of everybody and was telling people to suck her areola. That was like the lyric to the song. Titty out, suck my areola. I was like, what? What in the world? L Ball says, how recent is this video? It's very recent. At the Essence Festival. It just happened. And I'm like, you know, I'm as a pseudo artist, I get the idea that as an artist, you push boundaries and, you know what I'm saying, you do whatever you do to kind of express yourself. But kind of to India Ari's point, like, there's got to be some sort of standard, some level of something that you like, maybe this ain't the right venue, or maybe this ain't the right thing to do, or you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever happened to just classy performances? Whatever happened to that? And I'm like, look, I get NDRE was kind of always one of those artists where you wasn't gonna, or at least I don't ever remember seeing way too much skin. She was, I don't ever recall her being one of those artists. So, a lot of people are criticizing her. Like, oh, you know what I'm saying? You just mad because you can't get away with it. You just mad because you don't look that good. Or you just mad because you are old, prude and all of that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't think that's what she was talking about. I think NDRE was basically just saying, like, come on, ladies. And what was she saying? Something like, we export this music to the world. And so do we really want to export this image of Black women to the world, to say that this is what Black American hip hop, R&B entertainers are? This is what we got to offer. We can shake our ass and show you our titties. And y'all understand that this is the image that's going out to the world of who you are. And look, I understand that there are people who are like, won't care what they think about us. But what they think about us informs their opinion, of course, of who we are and how they interact with us. I understood NDRE's point. So what you're saying to the world is, I'm a skank, or I'm a whatever the term is nowadays. And she's like, don't put that image of us out there to the world. And look, okay, some people will say, well, but that ain't the only image, and we are the full spectrum, and you got Jill Scott singing this kind of version of the national anthem, and on the other side of that, you got Megan Thee Stallion shaking her ass, and Janelle Monáe showing a titty. And why can't we be all of that? And I think some of the reason why we maybe shouldn't be all of that is because we know in the world that we live in, talking about Black people in America, people are going to gravitate to the negative. That's the image they're going to have. You can put 8,000 images of positivity, but you put 2 shocking images of negativity. Those are the 2 images that everybody going to remember. I know somebody might be saying, well, the ass shaking and titty showing is not negative just because you don't like it. It's not a good look if that's, again, if you understand that you are the representative for a lot of the world to what Black culture in America is. It's not fair, but for some people, it's true. For somebody, maybe Megan Thee Stallion is their example of the example that they have of Black culture in America. Brent quoted her. The issue is, what is context? Humanity does everything, but does everything belong on a stage? No. Is everything for kids? No. Is everything for everybody? No. So when we as a culture make something like this mainstream, it shows a lack of discretion and discernment. But I saw that, and for what's her name to again literally lift up her little bra top or whatever, talking about suck my areola. It's like, what in the world? Again, I told y'all, my Janelle Monáe, still cute. Still cute. If I was single and she wanted to, she could still get it. Boy, she just doing too much. And you know what? The LGBT community, I'll be honest. If anybody, they the ones who should be mad at a Janelle Monáe. They're the ones who should be mad at Janelle Monáe. Here's why. Here's why I say they should. When Janelle Monáe was in the closet, when we thought she was a heterosexual woman, she carried herself in a certain way. She carried herself in a certain way. She always stayed classy, kind of reserved and all of that kind of stuff. When she came out as whatever she came out as, not heterosexual. Now she got videos of her naked walking around in what looked like orgies and, with men and with women, old women, young women, and showing her titty on stage and all that kind of stuff. Now the LGBT community be getting mad at us when we be like, oh, he gay? He a freak. She gay? She freaky. She freaky. They'd do anybody. They don't even care. They just go to the park and somebody be standing there and they get mad when we be like, that's not what we're about. It's not about sex. Well, how can you be mad at us? Again, when she was straight, she wasn't all about sex. Once she came out as gay, her public persona is all about sex. What are we supposed to believe? And if I'm the LGBT community, I'm like, hold on, you are putting out this image of us that everything we do is somehow hypersexualized. And if I was in their community, I would be like, that is a horrible image to put out of us. We've been fighting against that for years. So I'm wrong when I see a gay dude and I think that dude be up in the park doing freaky stuff. I done heard about them. I don't know if they still do this stuff in Burning Woods, but they used to tell me that they did it in Burning Woods. People would be like, yeah, y'all know I ain't the only one who heard, don't go to Burning Woods. Don't go to Burning Woods at night. I don't know if that stuff still happened. I don't know if it ever actually did. But those kind of rumors, when we see this type of behavior, it feeds that stuff. It feeds that stuff. They freaks. They don't care. They just do anything. It feeds it. But I agree with Indy Ari. I was disappointed. I mean, she spoiled my little fantasy. You know what I'm saying? My little Janelle Monáe fantasy. But, you ain't got to take it that far. You don't have to take it that far. Crystal say they took it to Mount Airy Forest. Tria, you remember that? Yeah. Pamela, you remember that? Yeah, people used to say that all the time. Them ninjas was up there acting like they were on Brokeback Mountain too. Well, I mean, of course, I didn't know it. I wasn't gonna find out. I had no reason to be in Burning Woods anyway. No reason to be in Burning Woods anyway. Terry says they off the chain at Burning Woods and don't care. Are they still? I mean, first, was it actual real? Can anybody actually say you know what I'm saying, that you was innocently going to Burning Woods and you saw this stuff happening? Or is this just one of them kind of Vine Street Betty urban myth type of things? Because I don't know it to be true. Can anybody say, nah, look, we get you didn't go up there for that, but you went up there and you saw that and you was like, oh my God, anybody can actually attest to the fact that it actually goes on there. And if so, is it still going on? And if so, why don't the police do something about it? If I know about it and I don't have no reason to go to Burning Woods, if I know about it, why don't the police know about it? How could this still be going on? Vine Street Betty is an urban myth. She gotta be. You know how old Vine Street Betty would be right now? Vine Street Betty would be like 200 years old. Ain't nobody picking up no 200-year-old hooker. It's just not happening. Janice says, our young women are so beautiful. It's sad that they feel they have to resort to these extreme measures to be recognized. Crystal says she saw it on the news. They know. Interesting. So that would mean they're letting it happen. That would mean they're letting it happen if it still happened. Mr. Ball said, I thought they said some of the people were cops. I'm assuming it's a Mr. L. Ball. That way I'm safe. I don't know if it's a man or woman. I just know if it's still happening, that means they're allowing it to happen. And that's terrible. But that's an if. That's an if. I don't know. I don't know. Well, all right, y'all. I got to get ready to get out of here. I was about to mention something else, but I can't remember what it was. Don't forget, tomorrow, Pamela says, Vine Street Betty is not a myth. The people in Cincinnati, old photos said he was real and lived in the Lower Clifton area. Vine Street Betty was a myth. But I will say this. This was what else I was going to say. It was Vine Street Betty was what brought it back to my attention. Look, I go to church a few times a week. And lately, on my way to church, I'm not going to say the street. I'll say the street. On Los Santiville. Off Reading. Lately, there's been this woman there. And I wasn't sure if she was a hooker or if she was just some lady. If she's a hooker or just some lady. But she's, she always kind of disheveled looking. Kind of scantily clad. And she always seemed to be trying to flag my car down when I drive by. And I'm like, initially I was like, I wonder if she's lost. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she got into a little kerfluffle with, her dude, and he told her, get the fuck out the car. And she got out the car, and now she just like, I need help. But I the first day, a part of me was like, let me pull over and help this lady. But then another part of me was like, no. She might be a hooker. So I was like, I'm not sure. But then I seen her a few more times and she was walking down the street. But every time I drive by, I don't see her every time I go. But every time I see her, she is trying to flag my car down. I'm like, I try to think the best of everybody. And I was like, maybe she lost. But then again, she's been over here for a few days. So hopefully, she'll find her way. I be trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. And I be wanting to help people. But I can tell you this. I am not stopping for that woman. I am not. Look, if somebody over there and somebody can tell me with 100% certainty she's a hooker, then I'll even stop thinking about it. But I promise you, this stuff like this weigh on my heart, it weigh on my spirit. I'm like, what if that lady actually needs some help? But she do be wearing different clothes. She gotta live in the area. But she just looks so lost. She just looks so lost. I kind of want to just pull over and say, are you okay? You know what I'm saying? I want to check on her. But I don't want to call it no sting. That would be terrible. Like my heart be in the right place. They be like, we saw you pulled over. I'd be like, I was trying to see if she was okay. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty convinced. I can't say for sure she hooking. But she definitely be hanging out over there. I ain't never seen nobody stop for her. But she always flagging my car down. Do I look like I need a hooker or something? It'll be 10 cars drive by. She just be standing there on the corner, minding her own business, looking disheveled. Her wig on sideways and stuff like that. Just minding her own business. Then when my car drive by, she be like, I'm like, do I look like I need a hooker? Do I give off I need a hooker vibes? Why she waving me down? I don't know. It really does bother me just a little bit. It really does. I'm not convinced that she hooking. I'm not 100% convinced that she hooking. But I'm not 100% convinced that she not either. I do want to know why she keep flagging my car. Y'all think I'm playing? It's the gray hair. Is that what it is? It's the gray hair. I'm going to keep the gray hair. Maybe I'll go get it. Oh, and also, I need a barber. I've decided I'm going to give barbers a try again. I know I'm going to give it about 6 months. I'm going to go get a haircut every other week, because every week is too much for, the rate that my hair grows. Every other week, I'm going to go to a barber and give him a shot. And if in 6 months, I haven't found a barber that can do my head some justice. Look, I'm not expecting him to work no miracle, up here. Don't be trying to spray no powder follicles to make my hairline straight and all of that kind of stuff. I don't want all of that. Just give me a decent fade, kind of line me up on the sides, and the whole ghost thing in the front. This is what it is. I'm all right with that. But a decent fade. For instance, ain't barbers charging like $30 for a basic cut now? I don't know. I ain't been in a minute. And I'm about to find out. I'm giving it 6 months. 6 months. And if I find me a good barber, I'm sticking with him. So if the first time out, he hooked me up, that's my barber. Or, if nobody doing the last time out, he hooked me up, that's my barber. But once I get through these 6 months, if ain't nobody stepped up to the challenge, and it's a hell of a challenge. If ain't nobody stepped up to the challenge, I'll be going back to, I got my clippers upstairs and I just cut it a lot more regularly. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. Yeah, no. I'm not. I don't need no Beijing. I don't need none of them fibers sprayed to, oh, but it looks so natural. I don't need that. I don't need no weave. I don't want braids. None of that. Kenneth said, go bald. Let it go. Let what go? This is my hair. My hairline been like this since my hair started growing in. I'm not losing my hair. I've shown a picture of me as a little kid and a picture of me in the 7th grade. It's the exact same hairline. I'm not worried about losing my hair. I don't think that's going to happen. I just, we are, I don't know if you want to say blessed, but genetically, me and my 2 brothers, we are not going to lose our hair. We're not going to have a bald spot in the top, and we're not going to recede. This is not receding. This is its natural position. There's no let it go. There's no let it go. It's been like this since I was little. My other 2 brothers, they're just like normal hairlines. Mine, not so much. My uncle on my mama's side, the day he died, he had his full head of hair. And that's just the way I believe it's going to be. So I'm going to have a full head. It's just, my forehead is not as full as some other people's. It just is. It just is. Plus, I can't just cut it off and go bald. There's a thing on the top of my head. Y'all can't really see it. But it's the way my head kind of goes up in a point. Bald is not a good look. Like, it's worse bald than it is now. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a conundrum. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I gotta find me a barber. But all right, y'all. I gotta go now. Look, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Don't forget tomorrow, First Amendment Friday. First Amendment Friday. And we'll get into that and maybe some other things. All right. I hope something amazing happens to you, by the end of today. Something life-changing. All right. Until next time. My name is Emanuel Livingston. About to knock the mic off the thing. My name is Emanuel Livingston. Enjoy your day. I'm out, y'all. Peace.